Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel Legge here representing Team JVSR. I'm back here again for another movie review. This is a movie called Antebellum. This is starring Janelle Monáe, Jena Malone, Kiersey Clemons is also in this one. They're, I think, the main primary big actors involved in it. Now, the synopsis reads, a successful... I don't know if I should read that. Yeah, nah, I don't even want to read it. Let's just say that main character finds herself trapped in a horrifying reality and must find a way of overcoming mind-bending mystery before it's too late. Okay. I'm going to try my best to give you guys a very clear and concise review without allowing my issues and anger to manipulate my perspective on this review. So first I'm going to talk about this in the perspective of it just being filmed and written and acted. As far as the cinematography, the first 20 minutes of this film were pretty horrifying. I think that all the bit of me that was like, yo, I just cannot, I kind of was like, yeah, this is just a whole lot for me to be able to really kind of intake. And it wasn't even so much that the cinematography was really good. I think it's just the imagery itself was, I think, platformed pretty well in what they were trying to give as far as an emotion from the audience standpoint. The second thing I would say as far as the audio, I think that the soundtrack in the very first act was pretty reminiscent of the situation. It felt like a old-timey horrific kind of situation, and in the worst possible way. And again, this is a non-spoiler review. I don't know if I can efficiently review this as a non-spoiler, but I'm going to do my best, okay? The acting. I think that Janelle Monáe kills it. She does a phenomenal job with her acting as this character, and you feel every bit of reinforced anger, frustration, and horror that she's feeling throughout every single moment that she's in every single scene. And matter of fact, to be quite honest with you, after the second act, it almost makes you want to go back and rewatch the movie again, because you get a totally different understanding of the gravity and the weight of what is happening, and also what Janelle Monáe's character is actually really truly going through, which I think that in and of itself is the most horrific thing about this, and that's part of the reason why my infuriating anger comes up. I think Kiersey Clemons does a good job in the scenes that she was in. She's not in it a lot. And I would say Jena Monáe, her acting in this, it was really just kind of one note, cookie cutterish. It really didn't strive for anything, in my personal opinion. This movie tried to boast itself as being another kind of Get Out situation, but it really was not in any way, shape, or form. I think it's framed to be a Get Out situation, but that is not what we got. Now, everything else about this film, personally, I felt was kind of amateurish. It wasn't anything I hadn't necessarily seen before. And to be quite honest, after the second act, I had a difference of opinion about the film as a whole. That's where this is going to make the hardest part about me being able to do this review in a clear way. There's a big twist in this film, and the twist in and of itself infuriated me. I did not. I was listening. I was watching what was happening, and I was like, I realized the movie platformed itself to be this, but really, it was not, and it was actually far worse. And I think that the issue that I have with this film as a whole is I don't know that this is a film that should be actually coming out right now. Given our current climate, of people and racial dissension. People have no trust or value within, whether it be law enforcement, whether it be government, whether it be each other. Like race in and of itself right now, going back and forth from people's perspective about each other, African Americans, Caucasians, minorities, everything is just in disarray. And this movie, the moment that the actual twist happens, put something in your brain, whether you're a minority or whatever, that it perpetuates a lot of anger and a lot of furious feeling that, man, that is evil. And I don't like that the movie pushed that on a specific race of people. I don't. I really don't, bro. To be quite honest with you, it kind of infuriated me, because then I was like, this is torture. This is malicious. This is saying that, this is perpetuating that people in and of itself, a certain group of people in and of itself inherently are just thinking of others as less than human. Now, granted, the circumstances that slavery did in fact happen, that is a reality. That is a fact. There's no escaping that. No, not so whatsoever. But the reality of the way that this movie kind of presents it and morphs it in a certain kind of way, it's hard to review, is sickening. It almost borders on a line of torture, torture pornography. And it also is not a good feeling, because in my head, I put myself in this situation, and in thinking about it like that, I was like, I don't need to see this right now. I don't need to look at this and question, my, fellow coworker or comrade that is not my race, or doesn't look like me, and thinking, or even being tempted to think that that's what a person would be willing to do to me. That's not good. That's not good for right now. It's not good for the environment that we're in right now in any way, shape, or form. And that's not me knocking the writers. That's not me knocking the directors. That's the movie they chose to make and they wanted to put out. But I don't agree with it. I don't like it. And matter of fact, the twist itself actually infuriates me, that I would rather it had been presented in a way that was more along the lines of what I thought that the trailer was kind of perpetuating than what we got. That actually changed my whole perspective of it. And then, to be quite honest with you, from a critical standpoint, after that moment, the second half of the movie, it just abruptly kind of like switches gears and like tries to course correct, like this happens, this changes this fixes this, and everything just supposed to be okay. No. The matter of fact, the moment that I realized what happened in the twist, I was like, the people that this is being affected in this movie need psychological help. They need something that I don't think that society is going to be able to really give them back, that was taken from them. And that is where the meat and potatoes that I have issues with this film, because they make it so in your face about who these people are that this is happening to and what they stand for, what they believe, and then they are put into this subjugated situation. And I'm like, I don't need to relive a slavery kind of situation. And maybe that's my fault for watching it, but I'm just giving you my critique and my full, well-rounded perspective of this film. Again, I don't think it was anything that I've seen, I haven't seen before in terms of cinematography or videography. I think the acting from Monáe was amazing. I think that there was some pretty interesting, horrific scenes that I felt like were very effective in what the director or the writers were trying to do and trying to convey and get the audience to feel. But I don't think it was merited. I don't think it was in good taste. I don't think it was in good tact. And I think right now this is not the movie that we need. at all. And I'm gonna rest this movie at a 5 out of 10. I'm gonna rest it at a 5 out of 10, middle of the road, because I can't give it anything more than that. Because the second half of the film, it just kind of jumps fire and doesn't give you the gratification of the ramifications that the characters are being put through. Like, there's no real feeling of real liberation of the situation or understanding. It just kind of just ends. And it makes you want to go back to the beginning to see, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't even realize this was what was happening. And then, even then, you don't want to do that. So, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't give you guys a lot, but hopefully I gave you guys enough to understand that be forewarned of this film. There is abuse, there is rape, there is violence, there is maiming, there is burning, there is a lot of violence that is specifically racially pushed in the most abusive and terrible and distasteful ways. And in different standpoints, normally when it comes to history, you understand. But this, I don't know, is warranted, merited for right now in this climate. This does not bode togetherness. This does not present or provoke us to try to look past the situation and move forward. This is the opposite. I'll talk to you guys over later on. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. You guys have a blessed day. And if you guys want me to do a spoiler review on it, let me know. Peace, guys.